What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Marvel Legends X-Men series Build-A-Figure Apocalypse Wave. We'll be looking at Marvel's Gladiator. Here we do have Gladiator in the packaging. What we're going to do now is take a little break, get them opened up, and then we'll have a better look at the figure inside. So stay tuned, everyone. And so here we have Gladiator posing out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's take a look at his Build-A-Figure piece. He does come with the head of Apocalypse, which is a really nice sculpt, and we'll have a better look when Apocalypse is all said and done. So with that out of the way, let's actually have a look at Gladiator here. He doesn't come with any accessories, which is a little bit of a shame. I really would have liked to see something a little extra with him, because, you know, it's just the figure itself, and it's not a character I'm too familiar with. But he looks nice overall. So what we're going to do now is take a little break and move on to his details. So here we have a better look at Gladiator, and I have to say they did a really good job with his sculpting. I know he's actually a reissue. I believe he came in a Comic-Con exclusive set, which I didn't pick that set up. And like I said, I'm not too familiar with Gladiator here, but they did a good job on his head sculpt. His mohawk is nicely done, and it has some blue highlights in it just to break up the sculpt, and it looks pretty good. The cape is a little to be desired. It is a little sloppy in some places. I'm trying to find, like, you can see some paint errors right there, some scratches right there. But overall, it's done pretty okay. There's a little spots here and there that you can see they messed up just a little bit. But overall, I think the cape is really nice. The clips here are actually painted gold, so I do like that. My issue is that his cape really doesn't sit well. If you have it pegged in, it's going to stay there, but if you untab it, it actually takes a while to get it tabbed back in, and that is a little unfortunate and not something I think I want to be finagling around with too much. Gladiator here does suffer from the same paint quality control that we've seen with Wolverine and Magneto. You can see there's some blue paint right along here. The little emblem he has isn't 100% clean. You can see it is a little fuzzy. We have some blue paint right there, although I don't know why that paint is there. The line work is clean for the most part. I'm trying to see where it might be a little fuzzy. Just right here on the bicep. Yeah, just the front part of the bicep, it's a little fuzzy. Now, one thing about mine is that his forearm is completely bent. That was warped out of packaging, and I can't fix it with a hairdryer. I'm reviewing him right out of packaging, no modifications, just so you can see that there is some issues with the way he is packed. So there is that. Paint on the belt looks pretty good. You can see there's some blue right, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's some blue right there on his thigh. Again, it's a little fuzzy right here on his leg, so I don't know, it's like they try to rush this wave out, and there's a lot of paint errors on these figures, but for the most part, he's an okay figure. Now, one issue I do have with mine, you can't really see it here, but his feet aren't level. Like, if I were to put my hand here, you can see that that foot isn't touching my finger, and that's a little bit unfortunate, because it does mean he's going to be standing off to the side like that. And it does make him a little hard to balance because the cape does add weight to the back, so that is a huge issue on Hasbro's part. And you can see he's actually wanting to fall over right now. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed and compared to a few figures you may have in your collection. And so here we have Gladiator posed next to Marvel Legends Deadpool and Marvel Legends Captain Marvel. And here we have Gladiator posed next to Sabretooth and Wolverine from the Apocalypse series. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually take a look at Gladiator's articulation, because he does have the standard Marvel Legends articulation, and he is using the Hyperion bulk. He does have some really good head movement. You can see that's just on the ball joint. He can look up, he can look down, he can tilt his head side to side, turns left and right, and that's just all on that ball joint, although you do get a lot of gapping, so just be aware of that when you're posing his head. We do have a hinge which lets him look back and buries his head into his chest. And again, we do get a swivel there. Arms on a ball joint go out to about that far. They do a full 360, although on mine, the left arm is fighting me. I don't know why. It just doesn't want to stay in that spot. And now it does it on camera. Isn't that the way it always is? But he has a bicep swivel, double bend in the elbow, swivel at the wrist, as well as has a hinge. He has an ab crunch which goes forward about that far, goes back that far, swivels at the waist. Legs do go forward, back, and out to about there. Swivels at the thigh. He is double jointed at the knee, so we get no issues there. He has a calf swivel, a hinge in the foot which goes back and forward, and then forward facing pin for rock your ankle. So overall decent articulation on this guy. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. So sit tight, everyone. So here we have Gladiator posed for my final thoughts. Overall, he's a pretty decent figure. I'm not going to say he's the best figure out of the series, and like I said, I really don't know too much about this character, but having him in my collection, I honestly don't know where he's going to go. He's probably just going to end up in a bin with all my other figures in storage. Now, if you can find Gladiator and you feel like you need him in your collection, I say go ahead and pick him up. He is essential to building Apocalypse, because he does come with Apocalypse head. But other than that, I really don't see anybody desperately needing this guy in your collection unless you're trying to fill out teams. But as I said, I really don't know what team Gladiator is part of. With that being said, guys, I'm King of Dragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other X-Men videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.